them up. 7 mistakes that first-time home buyers and 7 mistakes that first-time home sellers make. Okay, so let's go through the home sellers first. Now, pricing your home. 1, we just talked about what's happening, activity in the area. If you have your home priced right, it will sell. So you have to make sure you look at the comps, and what that is what homes are selling for in your area, similar homes like yours, meaning if you have a 1-level home, what that home is selling for. If you have a 2-level home, what that home is selling for. So you want to make sure that you look at the comps for those homes. These are homes that have actually sold, so you can get a comparison on what your home would sell for. Now, there are different things that might happen during this situation meaning you might have got some upgrades to your home that makes it more valuable, makes it more, increase the value of that home. So you have to take that into consideration. Now, what are some of the main things that you should look at? If you got your kitchen upgraded, that's going to bring some value to your home. If you got your bathroom renovated, that's going to bring some value to your home. If you got an outdoor area like a lanai, if you updated that outdoor lanai, got it screened in, got tiles on the floor, you made it look real nice, that's going to bring some value to your home as well. But where mistakes that people make is when they take the home that had no type of renovations, no type of updates, and not only that, they price it way above what the market can sustain. What happens is your home stays in the market for a longer period of time. So you have to take pricing into consideration and how you're pricing the home and what the area comps are saying. Another mistake people might make is you put your home in the market, and this is kind of tricky in this market because you have homes staying on the market a little bit longer than they did a few years ago. And the reason why is because the market has shifted, where it's become more balanced, where now buyers actually have an opportunity to have more homes that they can look at than they did in the past. So those buyers are looking around, and that gives them reason to say, hey, rather than me go ahead and jump on the first home, I got choices here. There's more of an inventory for them to look at. So one of the mistakes sometimes sellers make, and like I said, it's tricky, they go with the first offer because they've had their home on the market maybe for 2 weeks or 30 days, and they say, oh, it's been on the market too long, I haven't had any offers, and they accept the first offer that comes in. And they don't even look to explore those people who actually came in and looked at their home prior to, and maybe there was something that was like putting them on the fence with buying your home. What you should be doing is that agent that's working with you should be reaching out to those other agents that actually brought those buyers in and talking to them about finding out, hey, what has your buyer on the fence? Because maybe something can be done to make that person be interested in making an offer on your home. So if you don't look at what's happening with the people that come in, if you're not viewing the comments, or if your agent's not reaching out to those people, you'll be missing the opportunity. So that's a mistake also that happens. Another mistake is not fixing up things in your home. Lots of times I look on the MLS, and what I see pictures of homes, right? And sometimes these pictures, let me put you this way. When you're going into a model home, they don't have a bunch of paper laying all over the place. They don't have 1,000 things on the counter. The place looks nice. It looks sharp because it's a mindset. They're getting you to come in and say, I want to be in this place. So when you're putting your house on the market, you got to make it look its best. You got to make it look really nice. Meaning, you should have no more than 3 things on your counter, on your kitchen counter. And I know you say, well, I live here, Mark, but you don't want to live there anymore. You want to sell your home. So you got to make sure you put only 3 things on the counter. Make sure the place looks its best. Make sure you get professional pictures. Don't go around taking your own pictures. Or if a realtor comes in and says, oh, I'm going to take it with my phone, with my iPhone, it gets great pictures, and they go out and take pictures. Don't do that. You want your home to look its best in order for you to get what you want, the top market value for your home. That is very important. So just remember that. Less is more. You also want to make the home, whereas when anyone walks into the home, they see themselves there. I've said this before in several videos. They want to see themselves there. You want to remove yourself from the home. What does that mean? Take down pictures of you and your family. Take them down. Put something else up there. You want to make it so when people walk into the home, they say, wow, I like this. You can have some artwork up and everything else. They look around, they see it's clean. They see it's not a lot of furniture around the place. They see see the countertops are nice and sharp. That's what you want. But you want to remove yourself from the home. You're trying to sell the home. Remember that. Okay, so another mistake sellers make is when you do get offers, you don't answer them. You don't answer all of them. What do I mean is, if you got 3 offers coming in, that's an opportunity for you to do what? Negotiate with those 3 offers. You understand what I'm saying? If you got 3 offers, you got 3 offers coming into you at this time. That's an opportunity for you to really look at those offers and say, okay. And even if you don't accept one of the offers, you write back and say, hey, you have your agent get back to them and say, thank you for the offer. However, we've already accepted the offer from another buyer. Why do you want to do this? Because that buyer that you might have accepted from might walk away. So it's just like when you get a job. You don't want to leave the job. When you're on a job and you're leaving for another job, you don't want to leave on bad terms, correct? You want to leave on good terms. So if that buyer that you've already accepted an offer for, all of a sudden walks away, and for whatever reason it is, now what do you have to do? You have to put your home back on the market, which now you lose days, you lose marketing time. So if you had previous people looked at your house that was interested, guess what? Those could be backup offers, right? So if you treated them nice, those could be backup offers. Those people can come back in the game where now you could, guess what? You can have another backup offer and get your home sold right away. So you don't want to make the mistake in not answering, not getting back to these people that actually put in an offer and actually getting back to them in a timely manner. Because right now in this market, like I said, the market has shifted. It's no longer, you got a bunch of houses on the market where, you have little inventory in the market and people are fighting to try to get that one house. Right now, inventory has raised, and guess what? There's more opportunity for buyers out there where now the buyers can negotiate with the sellers. And even the new construction, they have a lot of incentive, builders incentives there. So if you have a resale, if you have a home that you own and you're trying to sell it, your competition is every other person who's trying to resell their home and new construction. So, 1, you want to get back to those offers that come into you in a timely fashion. 2, if you do accept an offer from someone else, guess what? Get back to that person, the other person who you did not accept the offer from, and let them know, thank you for making that offer. However, we did accept from somebody else. 3, guess what? If you got offers coming in, you should have already went back and forward and negotiated trying to get the best offer out of them. You should have already done that. But the main thing is get back to those other people, because guess what? During the process, that deal can fall through for various reasons. It can fall through. So guess what? You want to have a backup offer coming in. So always remember that. Okay? And another mistake some people make is they're thinking the highest offer is the best offer. Now, I know everyone wants to get the highest market value for the home or the most money for their home. However, sometimes the higher offer made isn't always the best offer, especially depending on what type of loan, whatever that person is applying for, or how much money they put into the deal. So you want to look at cash isn't necessarily always the best. Cash might be your lowest offer, and you figure, hey, I got it in, and we're good and done. But guess what? You want to look at each offer. You want to look at the terms of each offer, what they're asking for, and you want to go through them. So the highest offer sometimes necessarily isn't the best offer for you. You want to look at each term, what they're asking for, what they're trying to negotiate. You want to make sure you get the best offer that meets your terms. Because, hey, you end up taking the highest offer, and like I said before, depending on, they financing it, and depending on what happens during the process, that offer can all of a sudden disappear. And I know some of you say, well, how's that going to happen? It happens. It happens every day. And especially here in Florida, it's not like in North Carolina. In Raleigh, North Carolina, what their due diligence process, you have to put money in the game. You have to put money in with their due diligence. So what happens is, and if you walk away from the deal, guess what? You don't get that money back. That's something for you to consider. In Florida, they don't have the same thing. You don't put money in for your due diligence. So you have to remember that situation. So just think about it whenever you work in a deal with somebody. The highest offer is not always the best offer. Another thing is choosing an agent to sell your home that doesn't use digital media. I don't think that's going to happen at all, really, because nowadays, any agent that's not using any type of digital media is, living in the Stone Age. I mean, I don't know how you can, how you can list a home and not use some sort of digital media. Anyway, anytime an agent that you work with, if they are part of the MLS system, when they put that information in there, it goes out to all syndications, to Zillow, Redfin, and all these different places. In addition to that, that agent should be doing additional marketing on social media platforms. And not only on social media, they should be communicating with all the agents in the area that are looking for a home priced at the same as your home. So if they're not doing those little things, then guess what? That's not the right agent for you, because you want to make sure your home gets as much exposure as it possibly can. And if you're working with an agent also that has a network with the international market, that's great also, especially here in Florida. We got people moving from all over the area here to Florida. That's one of the things I do. I am a certified international property specialist. So when people put their home on the market, I expose it to the international market as well. So anyone who's interested in moving here internationally, not only locally, not only from state to state, you're getting that exposure all over where people will be interested in looking at your home, and that gives it more exposure. So you want to make sure you have that ability. Okay, choosing the realtors who charges the least amount of money isn't necessarily the best, and that's true. Now, I know some of you might say, well, hey, really just trying to get a lot of money, whatever. It costs money to list home, at least if you're doing it right as a realtor. If you got the right realtor you're working with, they're going to be spending money on marketing. I don't mean just putting your stuff in the MLS and letting it go out to all the other syndications and then just sitting back and waiting for something to happen. Because if that's what they're doing, nothing's going to happen. They have to spend money on marketing. They have to contact other realtors. They have to expose it to different markets. They have to do digital marketing and all these other things. And all that stuff costs money. Even doing flyers and everything else. And having virtual open houses or regular open houses. They're going to spend money. And if they're not spending any money, then they're not really trying to sell your home. They're just playing a number game, unfortunately. And there are a lot of great agents out there. Don't get me wrong. Excellent agents out there who are doing a great job, who are doing all sorts of marketing, all sorts of things to sell your home. You want to make sure you get that agent who's doing it. And like I said, if they're spending money to sell your home, well, they need to get paid also. It's like you're working a job, you put an investment up front that you have no guarantee of receiving payment until that home is sold. So if your home takes no matter 7 days, 2 weeks, 3 weeks, a month, 2 months, 3 months. During that time, that agent has invested their time, their efforts, and if they're doing the marketing, spending more money on marketing, because the longer it's on the market, the more marketing you're going to do. So if I get your home, let's say as a listing, for example, and I put it on the market, and I'm doing my initial, I'm getting the photographer out there and spending money on, hey, if I got people coming in making some suggestions on how to stage the home, spending money on it. I'm doing additional marketing, spending money on it. I'm doing some paperwork, I'm spending money. Even if I'm doing an open house, I'm spending money on bringing food or refreshments and things into the house for that. And when I'm boosting your stuff on different social media, spending money on all of that. So the first week I'm doing that, my initial money's going out. Then the longest on the market, say it's on the market for 2 weeks or a month, guess what? I got to spend for additional marketing. So more money is going out. So now all that's being done before I'm even getting paid anything. So you have to consider those things. So any agent that's going out there and they say, oh, I'm going to do it for 1%, I'm going to do that for, excuse me, I'm not going to be talking percentages. Can't talk percentages. For 1 apple or whatever. Guess what? You have to consider, okay, what am I getting for this? It's like anything. I believe I'll pay good money for a good product. When I go out and buy a refrigerator, I'll get a really good refrigerator. I'll put the investment in that refrigerator because I want that refrigerator to last for a long time. That's me. I'm not going to buy a new refrigerator every 2 years. I want that refrigerator to last as long as, if I'm in the house for 15 years, I want that refrigerator to last 15 years and more. That's me. So you have to consider that. So charging the least amount of money isn't necessarily the best for you, okay? So we've hit those topics. Let's go through them real quick. Pricing too high, that was topic number 1. That was point number 1. If you price your house too high, you could be pricing yourself out of the market. And don't use these terms like, oh, I want to test the market. You're going to test yourself out of not even getting your home sold. That's what you're going to do if you want to test the market. Don't do that. That doesn't make any sense whatsoever. And those people who say that, who are actually not realtors, you don't know what you're talking about. I'm telling you this, unless you do this as a career, as a job, and you actually sell homes, you actually do this, you don't know what you're talking about when you're saying you're going to test the market by putting your home on the market. You don't need to do that. All you have to do is look at the information that's available in the market. That will tell you how homes are selling. So don't do that, okay? Number 2, taking the first offer that comes along. Like I said, it's tricky because the market has changed. So you got to make sure you look at the offer that you receive, make sure it's a strong offer, make sure it's something that's going to stick, and you want to negotiate certain items in there so that person doesn't walk away, okay? So you want to make sure you do that. Number 3, not fixing the things on your, I didn't mention this, not fixing the things on your honey-do list. This goes into basically like making sure your home shows its best. Before you put your house on the market, and if you walk around your home and you see certain things that exist that needs to be repaired, take care of it. If you want to get the highest market value for your home, it's best that you take care of it rather than you just leaving it there. If you don't want to get if you're saying, well, hey, I don't want to make any repairs or anything like that, well, you're going to have to consider that is going to reduce what you're going to get for your home. It's that simple. Okay, so if there's things around the home that you could take care and fix, take care of it, fix it. If you're not going to fix it, you need to get some estimates of how much it's going to cost for these things to be repaired, and you have to figure that into what you're going to receive on the end when you sell your home, okay? Best thing you can do is take care of the things on the honey-do list, because most of those things are simple, most of those things are small. Get them done, get them fixed, so now you can get the best market value for your home, okay? We talked about, so that's 1, 2, 3. Number 4, not answering offers in a timely manner. We spoke about that. You got your home on the market, someone puts in an offer for it, you sit on that offer. You don't respond to the offer. Now, that's just rude, one, because the person's looking to purchase your home. And two is, guess what? You look at it, you treat the person nice, and you're going to get return. And if it's something that you want to accept, okay. If you got other offers coming in, like I said before, even if you don't accept that offer, give them a response. Let them know that you accepted another offer, because you never know what's going to happen with the other offer. For whatever reason, they might have to walk away. Now you can have a backup offer. You treat people right, things work out better for you. Okay, so we covered 1, 2, 3, 4. Number 5, taking the highest offer, like I said before, without considering the fair market value. Very, very important. So taking the highest offer isn't necessarily the best offer for you. We talked about that. And you have to look at what type of offers you got coming in, look at the terms behind each one of the offers before you take the offer that you think is the best. You got to look at all the terms regarding that offer. I hope that makes sense to you. And you and your realtor should be sitting down, going through the offers, being able to decipher which one is the best one for you, you and your circumstances, because everyone's circumstance is different. And it's not necessarily the highest offer that actually works the best. 6, choosing an agent to sell your home that doesn't use digital media. Like I said before, I don't know how anyone who's looking to list a home doesn't use some sort of digital media and is not spending some money, in doing it. So if you get somebody who's not doing it at all, unless they got buyers coming out of their pocket who says, yeah, they want to buy your exact home, one of the things I do is reach out to other buyers also and get on the phone and call people, find out if they want to sell their homes or where they're looking to move or whatever, because it might be someone who I call might be interested in moving to the area where your home is and purchasing that home. So that's one of the doesn't cost a lot of money, but it is effective sometimes to get finding someone for your home as well. You have to do a multitude of things in order to get someone to purchase a home. Hello, Bruce Arnold. How you doing? I haven't seen you in a long time. I hope all is well with you. Just wanted to give a shout out to some people. Hello, Maurice. How you doing? I'll see you a little bit later today. And Billy Kirk, you're watching. Thank you for watching. Please share this video with friends, family, and whoever you know. And if you got something specifically that you would like me to talk about during one of my luncheon conversations, let me know. Let me know what it is. I'll definitely come on and talk about it and give some information on it, and I hope it helps you and your family out. Okay, the last one, choosing the realtor who charges the least amount of money. Well, one of the things, first of all, let me just say this. Every deal that you work out with an agent is negotiable. There are no set prices. That's number one. Whatever they charge is not set in gold. Everything is negotiable, period. Maybe an agent might have a certain rate that they choose to do because of their model or their business model, how they do it. But it is not the same throughout the industry. Everything is negotiable. No one has an industry set price. Everything is negotiable. So you negotiate with that particular agent what they decide that they're going to, what their compensation is going to be. So that is negotiable. You negotiate with them. And it's based on what they offer, what they say they're going to do. And you got to make sure they do it. What I mean by that, if I'm going to list your home and you say, okay, Mark, we're going to agree for you to list my home and this is going to be the compensation, whatever it is, I'm going to give you a list of things that I'm going to do. Now, when I got your home on the market, you should be receiving from me or from that agent, whoever you're working with, an update of what's happening. Meaning, hey, your home went on the market today. I put it on the MLS. You should have a copy of that MLS listing, what it says in the description. You should have already discussed what it's going to say in the description with your agent before it even went on the market. You have a description. It's going out to all the syndications. This is where it went out to, and this is when it went out to them. This is additional marketing I did by putting it on this digital media, going out to the international market or whatever. You should have an update on all that stuff. And then, guess what? As things change and I get comments and everything back from people, I should be able to tell you, hey, on this website, you had 200 people look at it. These are the comments I got. Hey, you from the showings that you had, these are the people that went out on the showings. This is how many showings you had. You'll know that because you have to leave your house for the showings, of course. But what comments did you get back? And unfortunately, sometimes how you get those comments are from agents who take their clients in to show them the house. And sometimes agents don't get back with comments. So I have to hound them and like, hey, what did the person think? What do they think about the price? What do they think about the home? I'm constantly sending things out to them. And guess what? Your agent should be letting you know this. So you can know what kind of comments are coming back. Do you have the house priced right? Is the house decorated right? What are they talking about the color? Are they talking about the curb appeal? Did they notice anything that needs to be repaired in the house? You want to have those things come back because that helps you reassess what you're doing, how you're marketing the home, and it helps the homeowner and the agent, if they have to consider making adjustments, make those adjustments. That's going to help get a buyer into the home. Very, very important. All right. So those are the 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7. And I think I covered for not only the listing, and I also covered in the buyer, because for each one of these I can talk about for the buyer, like choosing the right agent to help you, and not necessarily the one that's going to charge you the most is the best one. Hey, you want to make sure you choose as a buyer. You want to make sure you work with an agent that's one that's going to be working with you. It's going to have your best interests in hand. It's going to make sure that they're going to be communicative with you, meaning they're going to call you up, update you on what's happening. They're going to find out, are you ready to go out? They're going to be sending you some homes to look at. You're going to be able to discuss different things with them, with finances. They're going to help you find a loan officer, someone else you can work with. You want to make sure you got an agent that's going to be doing all of those things for you. In addition to not only taking you around to the different homes to see, that's going to make sure you get work on getting a pre-approval. It's going to educate you on the process, what's happening with the process. Because if you're a first-time home buyer, like I was years and years ago, you don't really know everything that's involved in purchasing a home. So you want to deal with a professional who's going to be able to guide you through it. Now, even if you're a person who've purchased a home before, you might have been in a home for 15 years, 20 years, 10 years, who knows? Things have changed. So you need to know the process going along the way, right? So very important. So for buyer again, if you're dealing for a buyer, if you're dealing with an agent, that buyer's agent, one should be sending you homes that basically should sit down with you and had a pre-buyer's consultation. What does that mean is they sit down with you, they discuss what exactly are your needs, what are you looking for, why do you want to move to this area, why are you looking for a house like that, what is the price of home, your budget. They should be connecting you with somebody to get a pre-approval, and you should not be going out to see any homes until you get that pre-approval. I'm not talking about a pre-qualified, because a pre-qualified is you just go to the bank, you tell them some information, they give you a letter, say, okay, pre-qualifies up to this. A pre-approval is you go to the bank, you give them information, you give them all the documents they asked for, they give you a pre-approval, which says you are pre-approved for this particular amount. Now you know you can look for homes in that particular price range. That helps you as a buyer. That helps the agent find a home for you. Very, very important. And it makes it easier during the process for your pre-approval to go through, this pre-approval, for you to get the final approval to purchase that home. And it makes your offer stronger when it's a pre-approval rather than a pre-qualified. Okay? Also, it talks here for a listing person who's selling, taking the highest offer without considering the fair market value. You as a buyer, put it in the highest offer without considering the market value of the home. If you're going to be putting in an offer for a home, you should know what other homes are selling in that area. And that buyer's agent should be doing the comps for that home you're going to be putting in an offer for, so they know that that offer you're putting in is a good offer, not only a good offer, is a fair offer, and that you're not putting in you're not making too large of an offer on a home that's not that market value. I hope that makes sense. I hope I said that right. So that's very important. All right. So make sure that agent you're dealing with, if you find a home, you say, hey, I want this home, and you say, I want to get it, and you're going to put in an offer. That agent you're working with should say, okay, you want to put in an offer for that home. All right, this is what the market value is in the community, in that area, and they should be able to tell you, okay, that's a fair offer you're making on a home, or that's too high of an offer you're making on a home, or that's too little of an offer you're making on a home, based on what's happening in that market activity. You're going to be the one to make the final decision. It might be in an area that you say, I want this home because of this particular area, so I'm going to pay a little bit more for that home. Or I want that particular home because it has this, this, and this. You might pay a little bit more for that home. That's fair. People do that all the time. But you should be making an educated decision, not just a decision made off of what? Emotions. Very important. So your buyer's agent should be guiding you through that. See, I'm going backwards, giving you what it says for buyer, what a buyer should be doing now, not the seller, right? With the same questions. Not answering offers in a timely manner. You're going to put in an offer, right? Now, you put in an offer for a home today, and you can actually, when you put in that offer, you can make it that when you put in that offer, you can put in, hey, you want to answer back on this particular day and time. You can write that into your offer. You can do that. A lot of people do that because, unfortunately, and during the hot market, when the market was like really crazy, when people were going on, people would put in an offer and they made sure they had that there, so they weren't standing on the fence. You know, oh, what's going to happen? What's going to happen? So you can do that. And even if your offer isn't accepted on a particular home, it's accepted by somebody else gets the home. If that's a home that you're really interested in, you should be putting in a backup offer, because you never know what's going to happen as the buyer, right? So put in a backup offer, because, hey, that home, for whatever reason, the deal might fall through, and now you got the first right for a refusal. You're right there. You're right there. You can get into the home. So you want to make sure you do that as well. And the other question was not fixing the things on the honey-do list. That was for the seller. But guess what? When you're looking at a home, when you go in to view the home, you should be looking at these things. And that agent you're walking with should be looking at these things. Oh, I'm looking around the house. Wow, I see the siding is kind of coming off over here on the side of the house there. They didn't take care of that little thing. Or I noticed that when I'm walking around the house, they got some cracks. In Florida, it is customary for you to see some hairline cracks in the homes, because, you know, most of the homes are done with cinder blocks, and they have that, what do you call it? Lost for words that probably come to me later on. I forgot what it is. But anyway, it's typical for you to see some hairline cracks. But guess what? If I'm going to put my house on the market, I'm going to make sure I get all that stuff taken care of. So these are things you're going to be looking at. As you walk into a house, they got tile floors. You see cracks in the tile floor. Okay, these are things you should be looking at when you are walking through the home. Or the windows have lost their seal. These are things you should be looking at, because now you got to take these things into consideration if you want to put in an offer for the home. Of course, you're going to get the home inspected. You want to get that done and make sure the home is straight. But there's some things you're going to accept, but you got to consider them when you're putting in your offer, because these are negotiating points. These are things you can negotiate to bring down the price of that home. So always remember that. Next thing is, this is taking the first offer that comes along. That's for the seller. Now, you as the buyer, well, how can I put that for you as the buyer? Taking the first offer that comes along. Okay, you're making the first offer on that home, and it's a home that's a desirable neighborhood. You know, people want to move into that neighborhood, and you want to make sure you make the best possible offer that you want to make on the home. But also, you got to make sure it's a fair offer. You got to make sure, if you're going to go above what the market is calling for that home, because you want to be in that neighborhood, you want that particular home, you want to be in that school district, you definitely want it. So you might make an offer a little bit higher. If you do, make sure it doesn't go way above market value, because one of the things you don't want to lose is equity that you're going to have in the home. You don't want to pay too much for that home, right? Because a lot of homes you go in today, you got built-in equity. So we want to make sure that when you put in that offer is not only a fair offer, and even if you're going to go above, because you definitely got to have that home, you want to make sure you don't go too far ahead. Hope that makes sense to you. Now, also, the last thing is pricing your home too high. That is for the seller. But you as a buyer, we already talked about this briefly, is you want to make sure that that home that you're looking at is not priced too high. You want to make sure that if you're going to put in an offer for that home, you want to make sure that you're going to put in a fair offer, and you know the comps in the area, and your agent should know all of this stuff prior to you making that. If you're going to put in an offer, prior to you putting that offer in, y'all should be discussing what homes are selling in the area. They should be doing that information. Now, I'm going to say this to you. You said, well, hey, when we're going out to see these homes, they know what the comps are for all the homes in the area. Listen, if you're going out and you're seeing homes in that general area, you should know what the agent should know what the comps are, what homes are going for in that general area. That particular home, when you decide to put an offer on that home, that agent should be doing comps for that particular home, because like I said, that home might have some renovations, some upgrades in it that's going to make that home's value a little bit higher. And based on what those renovations are, what those upgrades are, because some don't necessarily get you the return that some of the sellers are looking to get. So you as the buyer should know this, and you should be working with an agent that knows this as well. So we started off rocky in the beginning when we was going over our market update because of my computer was going crazy. But I hope the information that you just got now, with talking about 7 mistakes that sellers make, and also going through some mistakes that buyers make, but also telling you what you should be doing in each one of those situations. I hope this was helpful. Please share this video with friends, family, loved ones, anyone you know. Like I said before, if there's a topic that you want me to discuss, if there's a topic that you have a question about anything, you can always go on and leave a message. I'll go through them. I'll talk about them. And help you in any way I can as far as what's going on with real estate. And as I said before, I'm Mark Hughes, real estate specialist right here in Florida. I'm licensed in 2 states, Florida and North Carolina. Specific areas that I specialize in Florida is the South Lake, Florida area and surrounding areas, Claremont, Mineola, Groveland, Mascot, Mount Verde, and surrounding areas. I specialize in helping people who are looking to downsize, or what I like to call right size, find a house that fits your needs, or even upsize, because hey, maybe you started out in a place where your home was smaller because it was just the 2 of you, then your family got a little bit bigger, whether you had kids or other family members living with you, you need a bigger home. Now you need a home that fits your particular needs. I help with that as well. People who are relocating, whether you're relocating from state to state, city to city, or internationally, I do that. I'm certified in all those areas, relocation specialist as well. And in the Raleigh Triangle area, I have a partner who I work with there, who I actually send business to. We do course referrals. And if I have anyone, if you're looking for a home in Raleigh, in the Raleigh area, or anywhere internationally, especially in Florida or Raleigh, hey, I work with people over there, work with you over there, also find you the right home. My partner is right there in Raleigh, in the Triangle area, where they'll go with you directly to different places, and we'll get you in the homes you need, or even if you need to sell your home, we work both of those. And like I said, internationally, city to city, state to state, we do it all. I hope you enjoyed this video. I hope it gave you some information that you can use. My contact, Mark Hughes, Southern Home Specialist with EXP. My number, 352-932-3086. You can check me out on social media. This video I'm going to put on YouTube as well, and I'm going to share it with the other like TikTok and Instagram and so on. If you can share this video, I truly would appreciate it. And if you can join me on, if you can subscribe to my YouTube channel, that will help me out also, because then I can do a lot of live videos there. I am going to be doing some walkthrough, especially in the community I am right now, talking about the homes of Esplanade, giving you a walkthrough of some of the homes here. Here is the active adult community, resort type amenities, and going to give you a walk through this community and others. I hope you guys enjoyed this, and hey, have a wonderful day. I'm going to type in my information so you can send me a message, send me a text, or what they call DM me. I'm here to help. Mark Hughes, Southern Home Specialist, EXP. Hope you enjoyed it. Have a blessed day. God bless you all. Talk to you soon. See ya.